that is more sustainable and equitable. Moreover, green growth is a path that must be traveled, not just for the future of Asia, but for our collective future, that of the entire world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is encouraging then that having adopted low-carbon green growth as the new national vision in Korea in 2008, Korea has emerged at the forefront of the paradigm shift towards green growth through innovative policies such as Green New Deal, which I, as Prime Minister, announced in January 2009. The institutional and regulatory mechanisms for the systematic pursuit of green growth have also been established in the form of the 5-year Green Growth Plan, the Presidential Committee on Green Growth, the Framework Act on Low Carbon Green Growth, and the recent legislature for the establishment of the emissions trading scheme. Additionally, significant public and private sector investment in green technologies have spurred job creation and growth. A good example exists here in Jeju Island with the $103 million Jeju Smart Grid Testbed initiative that has already been produced promising results. As you may recall, at the G8 summit in Aquila in Italy in 2009, Korea was chosen together with Italy to test and experiment the smart grid. In a similar fashion, numerous countries in Asia, particularly China and Japan, are undertaking ambitious programs for green growth. As an example, the Asia Pacific accounts for 2/3 of the global investment earmarked for green growth projects, as noted by the joint UNESCAP ADB UNEP study earlier this year. These are welcome developments. Clear vision and strong leadership on the national level are crucial to encourage the participation of actors across society, from public and private sectors, civil society, as well as the public at large. High-level political leadership can help ensure that countries remain committed to green growth in the long run. But as countries across the globe undertake the transition towards green growth, it is important to devise effective framework for international cooperation. Knowledge sharing, policy coordination, and harmonization of regulatory structures are essential in allowing us to harness synergies emerging from partnership, for example, the research and development of new green technologies. These are some of the areas in which GGGI, Global Green Growth Institute, is striving to make practical contributions. For example, GGGI has co-launched the Green Growth Knowledge Platform with OECD, World Bank, and UNEP to identify major knowledge gaps in green growth theory and provide high-quality research. On the whole, the key focus of our institute lies in ensuring that green growth becomes a common global asset, in order to ensure that all countries, regardless of where it lies on the spectrum of development, can take advantage of the opportunities that green growth brings. Any model for international cooperation for green growth must take this into account. Therefore, it is critical that barriers to green growth are reduced, especially the technical and financial constraints that developing countries face. It is with this purpose in mind that GGGI provides countries with analytical and technical support, as well as capacity building assistance for green growth. Our ultimate aim is to aid developing countries in devising their own optimized global green growth strategies tailored to their unique socio-economic conditions. GGGI is currently working with a number of countries and governments. Ethiopia is one of the first along with Indonesia and Brazil. Work in Cambodia, Kazakhstan, and United Arab Emirates have been ongoing since last year. Meanwhile, we continue to expand our work to encompass countries such as China, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, GGGI is now in the process of becoming a full-fledged international organization with the establishment agreement to be signed in Rio de Janeiro later this month in June. on the occasion of the Rio Plus 20. Personally, I decided to step down at this juncture as chair of the board of directors of GGGI and invited Lars Rasmussen, former Prime Minister of Denmark, to succeed me from July. Prime Minister Rasmussen was very pleased to accept my offer, and I am fully confident that he will work very hard to open a new horizon of the GGGI, to widen the horizon of its global outreach. The formal launch will be in October at the pre-COP18 ministerial meeting to be held in Korea. By then, I think GGGI will be full-fledged international organization. I am confident that this will allow us to further contribute towards disseminating green growth and to help create new models for cooperation for advancing global sustainability. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Han. Now we'd like to invite for his keynote speech Dr. Komiyama Hiroshi, who is a leader and distinguished thinker in this field. Yes, we invite you to go to the podium, offer his perspectives on the field in general and GGGI in particular. Dr. Komiyama.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I will talk about green innovation, in particular driven by technology. Please go ahead. Next, please. Yeah. For example, when you try to have 1 gigawatt power generation, what do you think? One possibility is, of course, the 1 gigawatt fuel plant traditional generation. But we have another choice. Last year, it became realistic. Yeah, 1 million houses equipped with 1 kilowatt fuel cell. What will happen there? Last year, newly developed solid oxide fuel cell, this is some special type of fuel cell, SOC fuel cell was in market, and the efficiency, electricity to fuel, is 45%. This is comparable to the huge power generation. Then, this is also provide hot water. And so, if the second choice is chosen, then we can save energy of water heating of 1 million houses. You understand? That we burn same amount of gas, and we have same amount of electricity, but we can save gas for hot water obtained. This is innovation. This is technology-driven innovation. We have many choices. Next, please. Another important point is saturation of artifacts. This is how many cars are owned per population. 0.5 means 1 car is owned by 2 persons. From Japan to Germany, this is almost 0.5. This is the saturation. Number of cars in these countries doesn't change for years because population is almost constant. So, in a finite Earth, population will converge to a certain number, maybe 9 billion or 11 billion. Then, 1 car is possessed by 2 persons. That is the saturation of artifacts. In most of the developed countries, including Korea, this has already occurred. Then the demand, how many cars are sold in a year, within a year? This is, in Japan, 58 million, divided by lifetime, 12 years usually. million is demand, domestic demand. This is the saturation of demand occurring in developed countries. And of course, China, India, developing countries, saturation has not occurred yet. But this is the number year 2007. Last year, 2011, this 0.02 of China became 0.08. The speed to saturation is very rapid. We should consider, we should think of future. Rather, in this context, future is not so far, not 1,000 years, even not 100 years. It's 40, 50 years, I think. This saturation may occur on the finite Earth. This is the very basic initiative of green growth, I believe. Next. Then, how much we can improve efficiency. Efficiency is the key word for energy. Efficiency. This is the plot of reciprocal of fuel value. How many gasoline is consumed per kilometer running? This is reciprocal of fuel value. And the horizontal axis is vehicle weight. Vehicle consume work against the friction. Most of the friction exists between tires and ground. So, fuel consumption is proportional to the weight of a car, not to the size of a car. So, if the technology is constant, technology is same, this makes a straight line passing the origin. Actually, it does. There's American and European cars, including GM and Volkswagen and so on. And blue, the Japanese cars. Japanese cars are 20% more efficient in energy than, so you need to buy Japanese cars, please. And if you use hybrid technology, further we can reduce the gasoline consumption to half. We are talking, I wish to talk about 20, 50, 40 years, 30, 80 years from now. Then most of the cars will be occupied by electric and or fuel cell driven cars. Then furthermore, we can reduce one half. Then even with the same weight, the cars up 2050 will consume 1/5 the present car. And furthermore, right materials, right and strong materials are being produced continuously. And so probably the weight will become half of the if the size is same. Then the consumption energy will become 1/10. Then how much transportation energy will be consumed by car in 2050? It's sure, because the population is 9 billion in 2050. And if all the countries will become developed, then 4.5 billion cars will run in 2050. Probably some of the countries will be behind. Then 4 billion is a very good, one of the good estimates. It is 4 times the present number. 4 times the cars will run at 2050. But each car consumes 1/10 or 1/5. So energy consumption for transportation will decrease instead of increase. This is the technology-driven innovation. So efficiency is the most important point. Next, please. Even Japan, we can become energy self-sufficient country. This is the proposal to Japanese people by me, the president. I'm making long story short, but please understand, artifacts saturate. I showed only the example of cars. And now the houses in developed countries are more than number of families. So in developed countries, number of houses saturate already. And the efficiency, energy efficiency of a house will be much better in 2050 or even 2030. Artifacts saturate in developed countries. Efficiency will continuously improve. So in Japan, energy consumption will become 45% at present. And we will increase non-fossil energy. Then we can 70% self-sufficient rate of efficiency. This is the time. Probably, and next please. From now, I will talk about some lessons from Japan. In 1973, first oil shock happened, and 1979, second oil shock happened. During the two oil shocks, oil cost became 10 times, and it attacked the world economy. Japan was very weak because we depended on 100% of imported oil. But we overcame the difficulty. How? Energy efficiency improved. This is the case of cement. Energy consumption per cement production became half during the 30 years. And cement manufacturing companies in Japan became strong. So, energy crisis was overcome by energy efficiency improvement of manufacturing. Next, please. This was the bay and sky of Kitakyushu, one of the industrial places of Japan. It was 1960. Hi, please push that. Click, please. Next, please. This is the present sky at the same place. Please click. This is the bay, same bay. We can swim now. This is what Japan made. Next, please. This is Yokkaichi, another place. This is 1950s, left side is 1950s, and right side is present. So Japan overcame pollution, but we will go further. Now we are reviving forest. That is very important target of us. Biodiversity. Next, please. This is another example. Left side is Sumida River running downtown Tokyo. In 1967, when I graduated from the university, the water quality was terrible. It smelled also, but the right side is present. This is one of the most clean quality water flowing downtown in big cities. For example, 20 years ago, shirauo, which is a fish, which can live in only clean water, returned to Sumida River. We are proud of that. This is the experience. So we can coexist environment and economy. We showed it. Next slide, please. Considering these things, our target, which I'm proposing to Japanese society, self-sufficient country with respect to energy, mineral, food, wood, water. These are primary materials, and they have been continuously increasing the price. So, Japan is the most difficult country to become self-sufficient because population density is high. But even Japan can do, I believe, 70% of energy and 70% of minerals. This means recycling of metals. Recycling of metals will be the solution of human beings. We will become free from excavation. That is very important. For example, the gold. Now the quantity of gold which is dug, excavated in South Africa contains 5 grams per 1 ton of rocks. But you maybe have this mobile phone. This contains 250 grams of gold per 1 ton of mobile phone. Which do you like better? Excavation from 1,000 meters deep, or you may collect mobile phones from the market and extract gold 5 times more rich. The solution, answer is very straightforward, I think. Next, please. The important point, the solution of the present Japan, I believe, will be the solution for the humanity totally. Because imagine, the earth will become more densely populated, and primary resources will become scarce. So, near future Earth will become the present Japan. So, Japan wishes to solve our own problems now. Then the solution will become the solution for the humanity. And not only green, we need silver, gold, and other innovation. Aging is a huge issue. We are discussing green, but in Rio +20, discussed sustainability. It was the original concept of Rio 20 years ago. Sustainability includes aging issue. This is very important. Most of you understand. And next, please. So I started movement. Not only government. Unfortunately, Japanese governments are not efficient now. Everyone knows. But we need movement, grassroots movement in cities, NPOs, enterprises, anyway. Movement from citizens are key issue. And synergetically, governments, including Japanese government, will become more efficient. That is my keynote talk. Next page. Growth will be limited by artifact saturation. We need next source of market or economy. And so I wrote growth beyond the limit. That in Japanese now, but it's being translated into English. I hope you will read it soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Komiyama, for painting such a vivid and compelling vision of the future and what is possible. We'd now like to turn to my colleague at GGGI, Mr. Kwon Sejung, who is Director for International Organization Conversion in our institute. He will have 10 minutes to provide you with an overview of the institute and its conversion into a new modality, a new form of international cooperation and governance.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sejung Kwon from GGGI. Let me give a presentation about green growth and our future. But before starting my presentation, I want to raise a question about this forum. This title of this forum is New Trends and Future of Asia. So, what is the new trend, you think? Maybe IT revolution, or increasing role of Asia, or new world economic system or financial system to overcome that crisis over the globe, or the other many innovation things. But this forum, I would like to suggest green growth as a new trend. But Chairman Han Sung-soo said green growth is not just a trend, it's a significant departure from past economic model. So let's start my presentation about green growth and the GGGI and the future role of GGGI. My presentation will be four parts. First one is global challenges and paradigm shift. Second is Korean green growth policy. And third, Global Green Growth Institute. And the last one is conversion of GGI into international organization. Let me think about global challenges. What global challenges we are facing? As many people mentioned about environmental degradation, desertification, deforestation, and also lowering biodiversity and water shortages, whatever. There are so many things we are facing. So some people say that at the current rate of growth, we need 9 Earths. So Mr. Komiyama said we are shrinking the Earth. So it's very big, serious problems and challenges to tackle. Efficient use of energy and resource is essential, and the development of related technology is crucial for the future of humankind. And also governments, for the government part, governments have the responsibility to promote enabling environment through infrastructure and other institutional and regulatory measures. So let me focus on climate change issues. Climate change is divided into two important tasks. One is climate mitigation, and the other is adaptation. The most of efforts are focused on climate mitigation, but adaptation is very important, especially for developing countries. Combating global warming and curbing greenhouse gas emissions. So global warming effects is around the globe. And then also we can see that extreme weathers around the globe is very important and then very hot issue. So collective and sustained endeavors is required. And then widespread environmental and ecosystem degradation. So recently, until now, the past economic growth model is sacrificing or compromising environment in a pursuit of growth. That is the conventional wisdom, but green growth is different. It's harmonizing economic development and also environmental sustainability and equitable opportunities. So unsustainable resources use has resulted in deforestation, desertification, and other damages to the ecosystem. And also for the response to this kind of challenges we need, but we are lacking of international, institutional, and technical capacity for climate change adaptation. As I mentioned, developing countries are more serious of getting more serious effects by the climate change issues, and also we need assist, especially developing countries to tackle the capacity building, tackle the climate change issues by capacity building. So the other issue also very serious problems, that is economic energy resource and management, and water resources and food security and energy security and land management. For the energy part, we need securing access to the clean and reliable energy for all, and decreasing reliance on fossil fuels, and finding utilizing alternative renewable energy is very important. And for water also, ensuring access to clean water is important, and developing response capacity for droughts and floods. And These kinds will lead to a food security, so achieving food security through improving agricultural yield and agricultural products. So where most countries are witnessing the short food security problems, so establishing efficient distribution channels is needed, and also reforming land management. Also, we should provide regulations and laws. So, what should we do right now? So we think about new approaches to managing global commons. We can think about internalizing external costs to the environment. As you know, global commons is no responsibility for all. So if someone takes the responsibility, that the other people can have the feeling to bandwagon, so they can have free charge. They have no charge for them, so they can enjoy, not taking burden. So that's one problem. So we should internalize external costs to the environment. So regulatory measures to discourage greenhouse gas emissions, inefficient use of resources, and market mechanisms such as taxation and removal of subsidies, appropriate pricing. For example, carbon pricing is also considered. And market and financial incentive structure for new incentives and payments for environmentally friendly market practice and management, and also public sector finance investment, and encouraging the private sector to invest more in green sector, and building institutional mechanisms is very important. So, what kind of role, what kind of model of international cooperation for this kind of building such institutional mechanisms? We can think about we should strive to have collective action. That is, this new global governance is including active participation of private sectors driven by market-induced, market-based mechanisms. The process is open, and also, as many people mentioned, about the horizontal cooperation networks and interaction between the people to people and government to government is very important. And we also share information, and knowledge sharing platform is important. We're going to face, and then also sharing the best practices, and also wish to come up with more green technologies. So what is green growth? That's a very important concept, but we should fulfill in detail the contents of green growth. Anyway, I just read the Global Green Growth Institute, what is green growth. Green growth is the revolutionary development paradigm that sustains economic growth while at the same time ensuring climatic and environmental sustainability. It focuses on addressing the root causes of the challenges while ensuring the creation of the necessary channels for resource distribution and access to basic commodities for the impoverished. Under this new paradigm, new ideas, transformational innovations, and state-of-the-art technologies become a major driver of growth. Green growth still is living organism. It's not a fixed idea. So we can develop the concept and also contents. That is our job. So green growth has become the central topic of leading international organizations, especially in OECD. They have announced declaration on green growth. And other UNEP and ESCA, as many international organizations take up these issues. And let's cite mentions Ban Ki-moon, the United Nations Secretary General. He said, we are running out of time. Time to tackle climate change, time to require sustainable, climate-resilient green growth. Together, let us tear down walls, the walls between the development agenda and the climate agenda, between business, government, and civil society between global security and global sustainability. This is a message about green growth, the new development paradigm that's green growth. So let me turn to Korean green growth policy.
1 minute left.
Okay, sorry. Okay, 2008, President Lee Myung-bak announced low carbon green growth as a new paradigm of development, and we many studies and policies about this, and also we are publicizing this kind of leadership in global green growth. This is a Korean national strategy. And as this slide shows that increasing energy vulnerability, the top 10 energy consumer with $104 billion in energy bill. That's very energy consumption is very high, so there's very problems for Korean businesses, and so we Korean government committed to 2% of GDP to green growth between 2009 and 2013. And also a voluntary greenhouse gas reduction plan with 30% from business usual by 2020. That kind of measures, the Korean government took measures to toward for green growth plan. This is our efforts. One of the efforts is Green Growth Institute. So let me, there's not much time, so let me introduce Green Growth. Green Growth Institute established in June 2010, 2 years ago. So we dedicated to disseminating new economic model as green growth, especially assisting developing countries with economic plan, modeling, and also implementation of green growth plan. And the history is, and then, our activities in 5 areas. First one is country projects with green growth plans and building developing countries' capacity building, and also research on green growth theory and models. And the 4th is knowledge sharing, and 5th is public-private partnerships, PPP. These are 5 major areas. And that is our country programs: Ethiopia, Brazil, Indonesia, and also UAE and Cambodia and Kazakhstan. So we are cooperating projects about 10 more countries, almost 15 countries. Then we are enlarging, and also we are dedicated to the more make practical approach and make it more deliverable. And then the funding status, there are several countries like Denmark and UAE and Australia, Germany, they donated to our institute. And let me turn to building principle in internationalizing GGI. GGI is now the right time to make it convert the international organization. President Lee Myung-bak announced in GGS that GGI will become an international organization by 2012 as a global asset in the green growth domain to serve the international community. That is our task, our job, our vision. As Chairman Hansen mentioned, we are making full-fledged international body on green growth. And then governing structure, and also I just mentioned about our timeline for implementation for conversion. We already implemented intergovernmental consultation on April, and we also initiating ceremony in May. We adopted the establishment agreement on Green Growth Institute, and in June in Rio we have planned to signing ceremony on the establishment agreement on the GGI at the Rio +20 summit. In October, on the occasion of pre-COP18 ministerial meeting, we'll launch GGI as international organization, as back-to-back COP18. That is our plan, and then we also make it better. And then GGI, as long story short, GGI is, we are making GGI is more voluntary basis funding and also hybrid and also PPP partnership organization. So we need more private sector participation and a more vivid and more innovative organization. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just a word on the structure of this new international organization. It is a new form of international governance in the sense that while it will be an intergovernmental body, only states will be members. The board will retain a multi-stakeholder character. Moreover, not only will the board have both the state and non-state or private sector actors in the board, but even among the governmental members of the board, there will be a very strict balance in weight between advanced countries, what we call contributing countries, on the one hand, and developing and emerging market countries, what we call partner countries, on the other. So this is actually not only significant innovation for green growth, from my perspective at least, it's actually quite a significant innovation for international governance more generally. In a way, you might say this is a bit of a 21st century model of how you put together an international organization. But with that, let me now invite His Excellency Secretary of State and Chair of the Interministerial Green Growth Working Group in Cambodia, Mr. Sem Non Kong, to offer his comments. I just want to indicate that how honored we are to be working with the government of Cambodia. This is really one of the most exciting green growth country initiatives that we've seen, and we're very keen and honored to be doing everything we can to support your work. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simmons. First of all, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And I would thanks to you all for participating in this event, and especially thanks to the Korean government who has raised Mr. Salman that have the good cooperation with Cambodia in the field of green growth. We, of course, have a decision. The government have decided since 2005 for this. I would prefer to have a background of the background of our cooperation between the royal government of Cambodia and the GGTI. Since 2005, at the ministerial meeting in Seoul, we in Cambodia have adopted the position that we agree on the initiative of the meeting at that time to have the new way for the economy of Cambodia. That means green growth. And since then we have set up and have had good cooperation between all partners, commencing from, of course, GTTI partnership, the UNSCAP, the UNEP, and the government of Korea. And since then we have established the National Green Growth Roadmap, some of the pilot projects has been identified and implemented within the cooperation between Cambodia and the donor, and especially from Korea. Concerning the way forward for the institutional strengthening for the green growth. We have established the Green Growth Secretariat, as you see in the slide, and the Green Growth Master Plan is being studied, and hopefully that next 2 months we can adopt it. And of course, we will adopt that within the consultation with the National Council on Green Growth. This is a new decision of the Prime Minister to create. Previously, we expected to establish the National Committee on Green Growth, but the Prime Minister is very satisfied with the cooperation with Green Growth, Global Green Growth Institute, and mostly with the government of Korea and the EU also. We do not forget UN body involving in that process. And then the Prime Minister decided to create the National Council on Green Growth for Cambodia. This, I come to the master plan, that the master plan will be adopted by the National Council on Green Growth. Of course, as Mr. Kwon Sejong raised, that the conversion GGGI into the international organization, the signature will be done at the Rio Plus 20 conference summit, and then Cambodia will be represented by the Minister of Environment representing our royal government to sign the agreement, and with our promise that we will be engaged in the GGGI as the international organization. The more cooperation and the close cooperation, of course, extend to other organizations, international organizations, and country donor. In this spirit, I have reported to the Prime Minister that everything we begun from 2005 up to now, there is a lot of progress. But of course, our human resources is still very low compared to other countries, because Cambodia is just wake up from the war, or they just come out from the war. And my colleague, ambassador of Vietnam in Seoul, can confirm that our country has been, in the black period of war and civil war. Then that only since 1998 we have a full peace in Cambodia. At the time of this confident peace and prosperity, we now, after getting the peace, the full peace, we have an overview to the prosperity for our people. That's the sense of the cooperation on green growth matter. And the how far I can, I talking much about the cooperation. I forgot to pass the slides, and you can see for the evolution of the roadmap. Everything has been identified by the interministerial working group on green growth, which I'm the chair on that, and we have studied and defined many needs and those need focus on 7 key accesses that's enumerated here in the slide, starting from water resource management and sanitation, food security, sustainable land use, renewable energy, information and knowledge, and means of better mobility and finance. We come again to the GGGI Cambodia Cooperation. First, we have signed the MOU on March 10 last year, and then we begin to have progress starting from the first workshop consultation to now we come to the third consultation, and after the third consultation we can have a final draft on the Green Growth Master Plan and establish the Committee on Green Growth, the National Committee on Green Growth at that time. But since 3 days we got the green light from Prime Minister to have a more important on green growth matter, that we will set up a national council on green growth. There is an opportunity of green growth in Cambodia, as you see here, following from the 7 key accesses to the waste management and landfill waste and livestock and so on. This will be implemented in the small-scale project, and those projects will be not only the pilot project, but starting the reality that what we have established as the idea and as the way forward for the green growth. And Cambodia is still very raw, for the natural resources. But if we don't think about the real future, we could not use our natural resources properly. So with the idea of the green growth and the green economy for the future, we could have the real prosperity of Cambodia. And we were talking about the Rio +20 summit. The GGGI and Cambodia will have, together with other stakeholders, we have to adopt in Phnom Penh on the 8th this month what we call the country report for the Rio +20 meeting. So GGGI will also be involved in that adoption of the country report for the Rio +20 for Cambodia. That is very good cooperation, and I end my explanation on that way. Is the thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary, for that interesting presentation. Now I'd like to invite Ambassador of Kazakhstan to Korea, His Excellency Bulat Bakusha, to offer some comments about this topic and about our institute. I would note that we're honored to have Kazakhstan represented in our board by one of the ministers. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. With your permission, I would like to be a bit briefer. Good morning. First of all, I'd like to commend the organizers for excellent arrangements and warm hospitality. Going to the heart of the question, Kazakhstan supports Korean government in its policies towards green growth, and we support GGGI's plan to convert itself into international organization for several reasons. First of all, Dr. Komiyama told about Japan's experience, Japan's views, and his own activities. But let me come from another angle. Kazakhstan is not a developed country. We have gained our independence only 20 years back, and we have a tremendous challenge to do both, to develop and to protect the environment. On development side, we have huge extractive business. Kazakhstan is a world player in terms of energy supply. We have oil, gas, uranium deposits. We are exporting metals, including to China, which is a huge market for us. And we are also dealing with socio-economic issues. We have to provide new jobs. We have to develop new businesses, invest into R&D, etc., etc. So how we have to manage it. But on the ecological side, we are facing also serious problems. You have shown some pictures. We now see Almaty, for example, it's polluted, and we are trying to address it. We hope that it will take a lesser amount of time because we can build on international and regional expertise and knowledge. So how we have to deal with the challenge and find a path to sustainable development. We are looking for partners. We're investing ourselves. For example, you know the RLC ecological problem. Kazakhstan's government invested tens of millions of dollars to restore the northern part of RLC. Now water is there, but it is not enough. We would like to be a partner of GGGI and Korean government simply because when we say GGGI, it is not a lifetime of the institute. I think the institute is working on what has been done before. When we talk about ecological problem of Almaty, for example, now Almaty government is investing money into several projects. One Korean company, Kodong Group, is participating, for example, and the city bus is now going to be transferred to gas, and Colony is building several gas stations. And if the project will be successful, we are trying to spread this throughout the country. Another example is smart grid. For example, Kazakhstan now consumes a lot of energy, but Korea has good example in terms of smart grid. We may save energy. We may use Korea's experience and not to build new plants, power plants, but save energy, and that would allow us to develop in a more sustainable way. So to make my presentation short, I would like to say that Korea is a good partner for Kazakhstan, for my government, and for private institutions. Korea is well suited because it had recently emerged from the model of development which we are experiencing now. It has good mechanisms, EDCF, for example, or COICA provides help. Although Kazakhstan is now approaching middle-income country, and we are not receiving, the help in terms of monetary or goods or grants, but we still need knowledge from Korean side. So let me conclude that Kazakhstan is on board. GGGI is a very prospective organization in our perspective, and Kazakhstan is doing internal job to join the organization as a founding member. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now His Excellency Tran Chong Tuan, who's Ambassador of Vietnam here in Korea.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to speak on these topics. And I have just 5 minutes to talk mostly about what has been done in case of the Vietnamese government. So you know that Vietnam has until now only 16, 17 years of normal conditions for the economic development, starting from July 1995, when the trade embargo was abolished against Vietnam, and we joined ASEAN, and also we concluded the agreement with the European Union. So it is very short time, only 16, 17 years for normal economic conditions development in Vietnam. But in these areas, we realized that maybe in other countries also, when Vietnam we were a poor country, and the most important thing to feed the people. That's why sometimes we did not pay enough attention to the environment protection. Just we try our utmost to feed the around 80 millions of the people at that time. And now population is much larger now, more than 90 million people of Vietnam. So the food is most important problem. But after 15 years of economic development, Vietnam already surpassed the stage of the poor country according to the criteria of the WTO. And now we became the initial stage of middle income country. So the government and now pay more attention on the sustainability of the development, especially to the environmental protection. So that's why the government of Vietnam is now attach great importance to the green growth development as a new product of the economic development. And in Vietnam, it is we understand that green growth it is the process of economic restructuring. And in Vietnam, we take very clearly that we should aim our green growth strategy to the 5 goals, 5 objectives. It is to make more efficient in use of natural resources. And secondly, to reduce at best the greenhouse gas emission, and to improve the efficiency of the whole economy and competitiveness of the economy. And the fourth is to successfully to cope with the climate change. And finally, to sustain economic development on the more sustainable basis. So by this, we intended to include in our strategy the Green GDP Index by 2014. Is we are committed to reduce from now to the year 2020. We committed to reduce from 10 to 20% of the greenhouse gas greenhouse, and also we shall increase until 35 to 45% until the year 2050, and we looking forward with 100% reduction by the year 2050. And also this for your information, that next month the Prime Minister already instructed the National Council on the Green Growth Development to submit the final draft of the Green Growth Strategy to the government to verify. And the Prime Minister is very much concerned about that, and even the Parliament. Now we succeeded to make the public awareness in Vietnam is very widely from the states, officials, parliaments, and people. And even before we map out the strategy, we already included the elements of green growth strategy in our socio-economic development strategy in the period of 2010 to 2020, when Vietnam basically became the industrialized country. And so for international cooperation, we also know that it is the common problem, the worldwide, the global problem. It is the climate change and also the greenhouse gas reduction is the common problem of the world. So international cooperation, global cooperation is very much needed. That's why we try to reach out for the international cooperation. And to our minds, I think it is, should be the new model of cooperation, international cooperation in these areas. So it's most important that we should mobilize all countries, all stakeholders to this process by promote the cooperation among the countries, not only between developed and developing countries, but among all countries in the region. And but of course, the most important is development of the cooperation between developed and developing countries, because developing countries sometimes they sacrifice the environmental protection for the just economic growth. So we need the assistance from the more developed countries. And secondly, we have to develop the cooperation between the public-private cooperation, because the government and also the business industries should also have very good cooperation, close cooperation, in order to implement the strategy. And thirdly, we have to coordinate efforts of policymakers, scholars with practitioners. So, in short, it is very comprehensive cooperation among all stakeholders, not exclude anybody, because when we can mobilize international cooperation from all stakeholders, I think that green growth will become the new paradigm of the economic development. And also, from Vietnamese side, we very much appreciate the contribution of Korea in this process. Korea is one of the leading countries to develop the green growth as the development model, with as President Lee Myung-pak said from 2008, the low carbon green growth. It is the common objective, and also according to the Korean friends, they told me that it will be the main strategy for Korea economic development in the next 60 years. So I think that it is very clearly defined, and Korea also playing very important role with the organizing of the Green Growth Summit 2012, and also the place for the Global Green Growth Institute. And Korea also in very active process to support Vietnam in this process, in forming of the socio-economic strategy for the economic development from now to the year 2020, and also also contributing to the mapping out the master plan, and also the national strategy for green growth. And Korea also, through the ODA projects in Vietnam now, Korea as the second largest ODA donor for Vietnam, Korea focus more on the green growth projects in Vietnam. So we very much appreciate, and we also appreciate that Korea will be one of the leading country in this process. And we also support that GGI will be converted into full-fledged international organization, so that it can lead the international cooperation worldwide for this very noble cause of the green growth development. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. This is very much a partnership, GGI. It's not any individual country. It's a growing group of both contributing countries that contribute both financial resources as well as expertise on the one hand, and then a growing group of developing and emerging market countries as well that are engaging in this very hard work of integrating directly into core economic strategy, resource security, resource efficiency, and environmental stewardship considerations. It's the integration of the two, the economic with the environmental, into the core economic policy of the country, which is the hallmark of a strong and rigorous green growth approach. And even as we go forward, developing emerging countries are going to be providing a lot of expertise and knowledge among themselves, because there is no northern model, there is no advanced country model for this, and GGI, more than anything else, is intended to be a platform to to facilitate the exchange of experience by developing and emerging countries that are innovating themselves this new model of development and growth. And in fact, I suspect that there will be a lot advanced countries can learn from these experiments that are taking place in developing and emerging countries. And that is the ethos of GGGI. It's really a true global partnership of a range of east, west, north, south, countries with different experiences, different challenges, learning from each other, collectively, hopefully innovating this shift in the very paradigm, the very model of economic growth and development. Now, we have 5 minutes left, and I would like to open the floor to see if there are any questions. If you have them, please just simply indicate who you are, what your affiliation is, and try to be as concise as possible with respect to your question. The floor is open.
Thank you. My name is Yanko Kim from Korea Transport Institute. Professor Komiyama, it's my honor to hear your striking and innovative message for the sustainability of humankind. Your message for the electricity is very interesting. 1 gigawatt power plant generation versus 1 million houses plus 1 kilowatt fuel cells is much better efficient for the 1 million houses. But I think there is some transition time, right? Because some energy companies provide already, but if we use a fuel cell, there should be voluntary 1 million houses purchase fuel cells also. So it's some kind of double investment. So do you have any idea to smoothly change those conversions? And the second question is, as there is many sectors for the ensuring the sustainability of humankind, such as food, water, energy, and mobility kind of thing. So if the food, agriculture is very important part of the humankind. But as you know, the agriculture is based on the fossil fuel-based large farming. So is there any idea, if you have, or like electricity kind of the 1 gigawatt to 1 million houses with a fuel cell kind of thing in agriculture part?
Let me just see if there are any other questions out there. We can take them as a group. If not, turn to you, Dr. Komiyama, for the response.
I will answer the first question with you. Its investment is very important feature, and the double investment sometimes happen. In Japan, in particular, many nuclear reactors stop now, and so we need new power generation. In that case, it's not a double investment. We can choose one of them. But, and also in many countries, in developing countries, they need to invest for new power generation increase. So, and in even in developed countries, we need to replace old reactors by new ones. In that, so there are huge possibilities, and the double investment is a very important concept. I understand. I couldn't understand the second point. What is the question?
Do you have any idea of the agriculture, like agriculture, food supply?
Oh, I see. Agriculture what?
Like electricity case, you provide, you just 1 million houses, kind of thing. So is there any idea for the agriculture of the same or similar idea?
Oh, I see. When when we say agriculture, we should have some crops. We should separate the discussion of crops and vegetables. In developed countries, vegetables are more important as economy. For example, in Japan, the vegetables is 20% bigger market than the rice or wheat. And so we should separate it. We need both. And in particular, for the vegetable side, we can use even LED. Yeah, agriculture, factory-based agriculture is a very good means. And we need simultaneously crops, wheat, rice, and corn. For that reason, scaling, big scaling, and machining, automation, and better, more efficient fertilizer production. I think these three are the key for better agriculture. And of course, the water is a big issue.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Komiyama, for that response. We've come to the end of our session this morning. I'd like to thank our distinguished speaker, keynote speaker, Dr. Komiyama, and our discussants as well for their excellent remarks. Many thanks to you as well in the audience for being part of the discussion this morning. I've enjoyed it, and it's been an honor to be part of this Jeju Forum for Peace and Prosperity. This concludes our session.